So now we're on the database section of the 2023 exam, so let's continue. Now 37, the management of UKZN wants to predict current students that are likely to switch to a competitive university. Now you will look at either D or C. Why? Trend. Now trend analysis is more for like businesses, for like sales and whatever, right? But if you're looking at students is a particular market. So for the UKZN, right, isn't the students technically customers? So customers tune is basically like details about what your customers is going to do, right? So that is why students are customers of UKZN, and therefore it's customer tune. 38. Now whenever you see this symbol, it represents an attribute. What's an attribute? It's a description of an entity. So you just have to know it, right? Oval attribute. I got this wrong in my test too, but whatever. 39. Which of the following is not in Microsoft Access? So what is not in Microsoft Access? So I will say worksheet E, because at the end of the day there is no worksheet in Access, right? Worksheets are only in Excel. 40. Which series of, okay, so anytime you get a definition, this is a definition. Related databases, stored minimum duplication, consistent pool of data. This is obviously going to be a relational database, right? This is a definition of relational database. 41. Which of the following statements are false? Now, when you're looking at this very carefully, you can read it if you want to, but the answer with this would be B. Because distributed databases give organization and other organizations less flexibility. This is false, right? Because why? It gives it more flexibility. Because think about it, you have different databases all along the place. So like in Durban you have one, in Pietermaritzburg you have one, they're distributed. So it gives more flexibility because it's more flexible, because there's not only one database. So now that's not flexible if you only have one. But if you have many, it's flexible, right? You can go to any one. So that is why B is false. 42. Kevin has been working hard, and okay, so basically he directs all activities related to databases. So one keyword over here is directs. He didn't say he makes the database. They didn't say he programs the database. It doesn't say he creates. He directs the database. So this will obviously be the database administrator. If they tell anybody thing about designing database, doing something in a database, that's a database analysis, right? That's not database analysis. Database, what is it called again? I forgot what it's called again, but yeah. Okay, no, wait, what I'm saying, database administrator is concerned with directly with the thing, because he's including providing security from intruders. So like he's dealing with the database itself. So that is database administrator. The other one I was talking about is called data administrator. So we only learn two. Data administrator, database administrator. Data administrator deals indirectly, right? Database administrator, it deals direct. So literally it deals directly. So yeah, so ignore what I just said before that, right? Now whenever you get this right, the questions, I'm first going to describe exactly what's on this table so you can get it easier when doing the questions. When I look at this, most likely always the first column is going to be the primary key. That'll be 70% of the time, right? For this, I know patient ID will be, the way you'd say it is this. If you look at the top patient, what identifies the patient? Patient ID, so this is a primary key. Doctor ID, primary key. Consultation ID, primary key. But if you put the patient's ID somewhere else, because this is now a primary key, it becomes a foreign key. For example, over here, patient ID is a foreign key. Doctor ID as a primary key. When you put it over here as a foreign key. So you see? Now, question will become very, very easy. So, 43. Which of the following statement regarding the relationship between doctor's table and consultation table is true? So here we're dealing with the relationship, right? Now, the doctor's table and the parent's table is a relationship with the consultation table. Its relationship to the doctor table is a parent table. Yeah. So basically, the doctor table is a parent. This is a kid. The parent table is a major table. You need to know the doctor, right? Because consultation can't happen without a doctor. Kids can't come before their parents. Okay, they can come. No, what I'm saying, they can't. Parents have to come first, right? Doctor comes first. So that's correct. B, there's a one-to-many relationship between doctor and consultation. So one doctor and many consultations. Let's see. Yeah, if you look at any doctor's ID, you can have many, right? Well, you don't even have to look at it, right? It's logical. I mean, one doctor has many patients. I mean, that's logical, right? So the answer will be A and B, so the answer will be D. Would referential integrity would referential integrity enforced? One attempts to delete the record. Okay, so what is referential identity? So basically what it means, so this is the primary key, the doctor ID. If you put the primary key somewhere else, for example consultation, when this was the primary key, this now becomes a foreign key. So in this table it's a primary key, the doctor ID. In this table it's a foreign key. I mean it's a foreign key. Now that's a referential integrity. This becomes the foreign key, but it must have a primary somewhere. So obviously it's in here. So now when you look at it, if you're going to delete the record, so let's see. So so in general, if you delete any record in the doctor's table, so let's say this whole record is M Keezy record, right? This whole record here, you delete. Because this is the primary key, this doctor ID here, and obviously this primary ID is the foreign key. So because they're related, when you delete the doctor's thing over here will also be deleted. So if you delete this patient Naidu will be deleted from this database also, because they're linked. Foreign keys, primary keys are linked. Whatever happens to one happens to other. If you edit their numbers over here, that number will be edited over here. They're linked. So it'll be B and C. Why? The record will not. The record will not be deleted. No, what I'm saying, not B and C. D. Sorry, D. No, wait. It's B and C. Oh no, wait. What I'm saying, B and C. The answer is D, but it's B and C. Yeah, correct. 100% correct. They both will delete in each other table. What validation rule will be the most appropriate for the design field? Now, what's a validation rule? A validation rule means, so basically in a database, people enter numbers in there, right? People who are in charge. Validation rule, if somehow you enter an incorrect number, it'll tell you. But it has to have a validation rule. For example, if I give you a, for example, if you're going to go and do something, for example, you're going on a ride and you have to be a certain height. That is the validation rule. You can't go into the ride unless you're a certain height. Same thing with the database. You can't put data in if you have whatever the rule is. So for example, a rule for phone numbers. What can be the referential rule? There must be 10 digits, right? Because if it's 9 or 11 digits, that means the phone number is wrong, right? So that helps with correcting errors. So looking at admin and discharge over here, can you see how discharge is always greater than admission? That makes sense. When a patient is admitted, when he goes out, the discharge, it'll be after, right? 19th April of 1922. So all the discharge is greater than the admission, right? So basically the referential rule must be the discharge must be greater than admission, because you can't say discharge before admission. That doesn't make sense. So basically discharge after admission. So discharge is greater than admission. So discharge is greater than admission can also be written as admission is less than discharge, obviously. Because if this is greater than that, this is less than that. So admission less than discharge. There we go. Admission less than discharge. Now for this one over here, identify the foreign key. I already told you which are the foreign keys. It's this and this. Also I think it's this because consultation ID in consultation is a primary key. So if you have databases which we're not looking over here, they can also be foreign keys for it, etc. So these are all primary keys here, right? Doctor ID, patient ID, consultation ID, primary keys. So it'll be all, right? Not all, I mean like these three. Patient's ID in the patient table. No, it'll be patient's ID in the patient's table, that's correct. Doctor ID in the doctor's table. Doctor ID in the... No, actually not. Yeah. So 1, 3 and V. 1300V. So I think the answer for that should be D. Now, whenever you deal with this, right, whenever you get extracting rows versus eliminating columns, the way I see it is this. PC goes together. So P stands for what, you may ask? It's project. And what is C? It's columns. So just by knowing that, you can do anything now. So project, P, what P stands for? Project and columns. So extracting columns, you know the answer will be P, project. So yeah. So obviously this is going to be select, right? So when you're selecting, you're basically eliminating rows, and yeah, so you can remember it just like that, right? PC, projecting columns. Which of the following statements is true? So database management is a group of programs that use an interface between, yeah. So it helps the applications and the database work together. The person who plans, designs, and creates is called a data administrator. See, this is false, right? It's called a database administrator. Advantages of a database approach using database management system can lead to data redundancy. That's false. It leads to a reduced data redundancy. An entity, yeah, this is right. An entity is a person which a company store data about. So it's one in IV. That's correct. Where is one in IV? Yeah, B. Anytime you get this, SQL is a data definition language. DDL, data definition language, and a manipulation language. So there are two. One second. So which of the following statement is true? Now, when looking at it, right, let's see. I can already tell you the answer will be E. The relationship of product and order is many to many. Why? You see how product and order has many lines to it, joining many lines to it? That's many to many. Now you may ask, what are these circles of things or whatever? When you see a circle, it means optionality. So there can be a customer, but that customer does not have to place order. So it can either have this whole order block or no order block. Optionality circle. Then, what's a straight line? The straight line here. Straight line over here means it's compulsory. So a supplier has to belong to a supplier. Yeah, and obviously these like bird thingies are like many to many, one to many, whatever. Which of the following interpretation is correct? So I told you each product is supplied by many suppliers, because each product is supplied by many, so it's going through many suppliers, and it makes sense logically, right? A shopping mall database is used to be used by the store and staff. Okay, so what is a vacancy? A vacancy is like the jobs in the business. So if you have type of jobs in a business, that's a vacancy. So which of the following referential rule for shopping mall database? So I will say it's C. The store ID in the vacancy table, store ID. This has to be this is obviously when it's a foreign key, because the store ID is a primary key over here. So because you got a foreign key, there has to be a primary key somewhere, and there is a primary key here. So that's a referential integrity rule. There's something relationship between store and vacancy. So there can be one store, but there can be many vacancies to that store, many jobs for that store. So one to many. Okay, so basically, this is a way of querying, so getting data from the database. So you want all stores with security as a category, and you want more than 10. So where you see number of weeks, you must write greater than 10. Where you see job, must write security. This is just 10, so that's false. I'll say C. You got security over here under the job category, which you want, and you want a number of weeks greater than 10. That's perfect. So once you put this, when you query, you enter, it'll give you all the jobs that are security and greater than 10. What of the following is an excess object in the shopping mall database? XX object. So it's BB, store table. The tables in a database is an object, right? It's an object. It makes sense that it's an object. category field is part of the table, so it's not that the whole table itself is an object. So we'll do part 2 of databases with these questions.